Good morning, world.
It's not morning.
I know it's not morning, but that's kind of my tagline. Just like yours is, it's a damn shame, but it's not always a damn shame.
But just because it's your tagline doesn't mean you use it every case, and sometimes it is a damn shame.
That's not your tagline.
It's a damn shame.
Actually, I kind of like it is a damn shame.
It takes too long.
It is a damn shame.
I won't use the contraction, it's.
Okay, but I've heard you and other times say it is a damn shame, and we still go with it. And then what I'll put, because we do have shirts, I know we don't sell a lot of them, that say Good Morning World, but I'm thinking good, fill in the blank, world.
I'm Cedric.
And I'm Brian, and this is Cedric and Brian.
Brian, we have another shooting, this time in Kenosha, Wisconsin. And true to form, the media has made its own determination before the body hit the ground of another innocent black man who was wrongly shot by the police officers. And I need to say it soon, I'm going to say it later, it's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. I don't even know where to go with this. I have a few words I want to say, but did you want to say anything first?
Yeah, well, I think we need to watch the clip. And then you can kind of just take us through the clip.
Okay. Okay, as you guys can see here, Jacob Blake was a domestic dispute call. Policemen came out. They told him to all comply. Okay, we're going to pause it right here. First thing that I want to address is, why is he walking away from the police?
I don't care what color you are. If I've got a bunch of police officers with their guns drawn on me and are telling me to stop, I think I'm going to stop.
If they tell you to stand on one foot, do the hokey pokey, turn yourself around, put one foot in, put one foot out, do that.
Instead of doing what you're supposed to be told, because of all the stuff that's going on, I think there's just a mental thing that people are saying, screw that, I'm not going to. But
the greatest teaching model is modeling. When you model what others do. And we're seeing it in schools now where students will even tell their teachers, I don't have to listen to you.
Yeah.
And it's one thing when you get a recess taken away, or you get detention, or you get Saturday school. It's another thing to get a bullet in the ass.
Let's continue, and you can kind of walk us through it. It's a short. So
he goes into his car. Policemen don't know he's going to get. And we'll pause it right here.
And they're actually pulling him back.
They're trying to pull him back. And here's the thing. I'm not a police officer, but I'm sure in this heightened climate, I'm sure during their briefing in the morning, these cops are doing their damnedest not to be on someone's iPhone.
They know they're getting filmed.
They know they're getting, so they're doing their best. The whole word I want you to say is comply. Yeah. Comply. Whether you're white or black, male, female, if a police officer asks you to do something, comply and do it. The reason you don't comply is because you know you're guilty of something.
Yeah, and so first of all, he's not stopping. He walks around and then he reaches in a car.
Again, I'm not a cop. If I tell you to stop and you don't stop, you go into your car and I can't see what you're doing, one of us is going home today. I am not going to take the time for you to pull out something, a hairbrush or a gun, before I pull the trigger.
But my question is, what's the reason he's reaching in the car? Why is there any good reason when you've got two police officers with their guns on you? Is there any possible good reason why he would do that? Why would you do that?
There's no justifiable reason.
The whole situation is terrible, but again, put yourself in that position. Whether they were there for a reason. Somebody called the police because there was a dispute. Here's what you have to do in life in general, and what people just do not do now. Try to put yourself in the other person's position. Put yourself in those police officers' position. You don't know what's happening. You're in a climate where people are literally killing police officers. Put yourself in that position. I will put myself in the position of, what was his name?
Jacob Blake.
Jacob Blake. So if I put myself in the position of Jacob Blake, I can do that. Number one, I'm not going to walk away. I'm going to do whatever the officers say.
Comply.
I'm not going to go reach inside. What on earth would be a reason to do that?
But see, that no one focuses on that one word that I want to stay with. It's comply. They want to focus on the fact that, why didn't the police take him down? If you just complied and stopped fighting and stopped resisting, just comply, these things will go a lot easier for you. Again, I need to reiterate, these cops do not want to go through this BS every few weeks, because they know what the media is going to do. They're doing exactly what they're doing now. Before the news even comes out, it's always racially motivated. Now, thank goodness, as we're taping this, supposedly he was airlifted to a hospital, and right now he's okay.
Obviously, while I was going through the story and getting ready for our episode, I saw, of course, Twitter, which is, I try not to go on Twitter, but a bunch of athletes, prominent athletes, and politicians and media people were saying, hey, it was 2-on-1 or 3-on-1. Why couldn't they just overpower him and take him down, or why didn't they tase him?
Right. Well, I think they did tase him. We have to check that.
That's right. That's right. I think they did.
He was
tase him,
tased.
and he still
fought through it. He still kept moving.
Yeah.
They said stop, whatever they said.
So why didn't they just overpower him?
Well, I think if they had the cops can't win in this situation, Brian. George Floyd was overpowered, wasn't he? Or taken down.
Yeah, that's true.
What happened there?
That's true. It's hard to second guess, but you're right. I forgot about that whole thing. George Floyd was not shot. You're right.
The cops can't win. And me and Brian, we're not sitting here, how do I say that? We're not being pro-cop, which I am. I am pro-police.
Yeah.
But it's like they have a hard job. And I don't want to turn this into some racial thing where another white cop kills an innocent black man.
But as you can see from all these headlines, that's
the narrative.
That's the narrative. That's the headline. Every headline you see, except for there was two, Fox News just put a man shot, and there was one other, Wisconsin News, that said a man shot. Every other network, including CNN, including NBC, CBS, all have to put black there so that everybody knows that this was another black man shot by the cops. So speaking of the tasing thing, because this was brought up, so I want you to watch a clip. I don't think you've seen this yet.
So this is after the Jacob Blake shooting.
Yeah, this is the scene. You'll hear.
So now the police have been called a cracker.
Tasers.
Tracker right there, another tracker over there. Y'all ain't here to protect us. Y'all should have tased. What the fuck y'all ain't tased?
Should have tased him. So I mean that's the narrative, you should have tased.
And of course Jacob Blake can't hear us right now, but let's take it back before the tasing. Why didn't he comply?
Yeah, no, I know.
But they always want to focus on why didn't they take him down? Why didn't they tase him? Why didn't they shoot his kneecap?
Yeah, I know.
It's like
obviously people that say why didn't you shoot his kneecap are people who have never handled a gun.
Right.
But then the whole tasing thing, they did tase him, what you said, right?
Yeah, they did.
So
they tased him.
And what about the guy using the term cracker over and over and over again?
Which is really ironic, especially during this BLM thing where we're talking about social justice and treating blacks with respect. But we have to understand, as blacks, as Hispanics, as anybody, that has to be reciprocated. It has to be. We can't ask for all these, I won't call them favors or respect, but be unwilling to give it back.
And then, of course, you heard him say F the police over and over again.
Yeah, that old NWA narrative, which we saw something weeks ago where older women were putting little placards in the hands of little black girls saying,
I know.
F the police.
I know.
There you go. That's how you should train up a child in the way they should go.
And that's what's happening with the leadership and the media today. It's teaching you how to keep dividing people, and it's unfortunate. I understand the emotions and everything that goes along with this. In this case, you stated that you think Jacob Blake was actually tased first, or that's what's coming out?
Yes.
Okay, so people say, well, why didn't you tase him? Let's say he didn't tase him. At the point when they shot him, let's say they decided to tase him instead. I want you to watch this footage.
Okay.
Because here's an incident that you'll see right before your eyes. So
this is in Easton, Pennsylvania?
Yeah, this was a couple years ago. This is in 2017. But here's what police officers have to go with. And this is what people, when I said, put yourself in the other person's position. This is called empathy. You have to empathize with both sides. Sometimes it's going to be wrong, but at least put yourself in the other person's shoes before you rush to judgment, which we never do. Not in today's society.
Right.
So watch this video.
So it's like
You're going 87 miles an hour. All those costs are associated with the traffic.
Being very calm and nice to this guy.
Okay. Are you okay? All right. I mean, it's okay.
Now you can tell the guy's out of it. Look how out of it he is.
Again, right now he's like he's complying. Comply. And this is where the complying stops.
So he's got his taser out.
Taser.
So he tased him.
And he's...
So they tased him.
Yeah.
Keep the taser on.
Okay, so for all you people who said, oh, why didn't they tase him? Okay, here's somebody that's being tased. And he's still fighting.
Again, the word I want to keep using over and over again is comply.
So
Now he's going to his-
they've already tased him. He's reaching in his car. Look familiar? And now he just shot at 2 cops. And this cop's just trying to save his own life here. Obviously, he's been hit. So there's your tasing. Why didn't they just tase him? This is what the police have to deal with all the time. And you're not putting yourself in their position. Again, the guy, what's the guy's name again?
Jacob Blake.
Jacob Blake. You compare him to an innocent man. They say innocent man, unarmed man being shot. This guy was pulled over for going 87 miles an hour. You could see at the beginning the officer was very nice to him.
Yes.
Then they found out he's completely out of his mind, either drunk or on drugs. And then look what happens. He pulls a gun out, just like the guy in the first video. He's reaching in his car. What are these cops supposed to think?
Yeah. Well, you know what someone's going to say? Based on this picture here, it's like the back window was shut out.
Well, the cops ended up finally doing it.
Yeah, some fool's going to say, why didn't they shoot the tire?
Yeah, I know.
What if you'd actually hit him?
So for those of you, and I know it looks, and it may come out where Cedric and I are completely wrong. Maybe this was a terrible shooting with the Wisconsin guy. Why do I keep forgetting his name?
Jacob Blake?
Jacob. Maybe it was a bad shooting. But I have a few points to make. We don't give it time to find out what it is. Even in the video, which we only saw a short clip, he was basically not complying. So Cedric said that over and over again. So number one, he's not complying. Just comply. Number two, he's reaching in his car. Like we just showed you on this video. You don't know what he's reaching for. Maybe there was no gun. Maybe there is a gun. Nobody knows, but yet they're starting to riot because of it.
Right.
And then number I just want to make one more point.
Yeah.
They immediately say it's a racial incident. Why is it a racial incident? Was this a racial incident? They were being very nice with this guy at the beginning until he fought. They tased him. Then he brings out a gun and shoots at 2 officers. Is that a racial incident?
A time ago, back in the days of Walter Cronkite and some of those big time...
Cronkite or Cronkite?
What's his name?
Cronkite.
Cronkite. It was back in the days of Walter Cronkite.
Cronkite.
Cronkite. You can't say Jacob Blake. Come on. Cronkite.
I kept forgetting Jacob.
Okay. In the days of Walter Cronkite,
yes.
Back in those days, it was very important for media personalities to be right. Yeah. That is gone. Now it's more important to be first.
Yeah. I mean, it's absolutely changed.
Get the news out there first, and then we'll clean it up later if we have to. But let's create our own story. We don't have to worry about being right. Let's get it out there first.
Yeah.
Because people have their iPhones and they have their camera phones and the TMZ and all this other stuff is out there first. Throw it out there. If we got to clean it up, we'll do that later.
Well, it's even worse than that. They want to set up the narrative.
Right.
Obviously, we know that.
Right.
They're setting up a narrative division. And Cedric asked earlier, why are they doing this? And, I mean, you have to go back and see that this has been going on for a long time. But division is part of the plan.
Right.
So, unfortunately. And people who are blind to that, go ahead, be blind to that, but they are trying to divide us right now.
Well, we've talked about this in numerous videos. You know, a house divided cannot stand.
Yeah, and
so
they don't want it to stand.
Us.
They've been proving that they don't want it to stand.
Right.
They want it separate, and they want to rebuild the system. And that's just the way it is. So, and speaking of rebuilding the system, let's take a look. Of course, this is now kind of expected behavior, but here's what's happening since this incident. So that's how you get justice nowadays.
That's a stupid question. What does this solve?
It's showing their anger and frustration. And then setting things on fire seems to be the protesting of the day.
This is after Jacob Blake was shot and they went and set fire to a used auto dealership.
And here's the ironic thing. The used auto dealership had a giant sign that said Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
So here, a cop almost gets killed right here.
Yeah.
Which is okay. You'll see people applaud.
Look, they'll have their phones out.
Yeah, look. He gets...
What happened? Oh, he's got brick.
Oh, they even have a term for it. Brick.
He got bricked.
Watch this. Clapping. They're clapping.
Let's defund the police in these areas.
Yeah, so this is going to keep happening. And we talked about this before. When Derek Chauvin goes on trial, and because they set the bar so high, he may get off. Or, you know what, even if he doesn't get off, if they don't get that conviction of second-degree murder and he still gets put in jail for a lower crime, which that's all they can prove,
right,
there's still going to be riots that how come they didn't get him for second-degree murder? They're setting this up for more riots, people. If you don't see that...
You're blind.
Yeah.
You're blind. You got to see it.
They're setting this up. They're setting up for more chaos, and it's scary. We're going to keep an eye on this story to see what comes out, because usually... Like with the Michael Brown, even the Obama administration, the DOJ, they exonerated the cops because they showed that it was a justified shooting.
Right.
So we'll keep you up to date. I'm sure you'll follow it in the news, but we might find out that this, was a complete racist cop who killed a guy or shot a guy in cold blood. I don't think that's going to be the narrative. As we showed you, the guy did not comply.
Didn't comply.
But what we're going to do later is we're going to have another episode tonight, because Cedric and I are going to do a recap each day of the RNC.
We did the DNC. Let's do the RNC.
So we'll see you a little bit later tonight, fast as I can edit it. So for all you people staying up late, that one may come out later.
I will help you.
Yeah?
I mean, that means I will sit on the couch and eat while you do.
That means I usually tell him to get away from me while I'm editing, because he gets in my space.
I offer constructive criticism.
Yeah. After I'm already done, he said, "Hey, can you put this in?" It's like, "No, Cedric, I'm done."
Well, anyway, make sure you like, subscribe, ring the bell, share your videos with everyone you know, and you guys be aware of what's going on out there. Be safe out there, and until next time, I'm Cedric.
And I'm Brian. See you later.